Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Now it's Saturday and we have got a map that is neither one thing or the other. We will explain this more in the second half of today's show. Question is, are you gonna like it? And honestly, I think you will. Yes, it does have some minor flaws, and they are minor flaws. Nothing that isn't entirely fixable, and it's certainly definitely playable in terms of can you build a decent city on it. So yeah, I think you will enjoy it today. And you know what I would enjoy today? I would enjoy it if you had a very itchy trigger finger. That's right. Yes indeed, clicking the like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day, so thanks for your support. Today's map is Morbridge by Angel2208. Now if you recognise the name, we did them back in episode 630 where they got 9 stars. There's your star square, by the way. 9 stars. It was only 2 stars for gameplay, a little bit broken in gameplay, so hopefully today's will be a bit better than that. Resources, bit dotted, usable but not inspiring. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, actually not much. Network extensions 2 and the generic tree pack, not so rocky map hills theme, and in some other order of wording, like something like that. And of course, we're defaulting to the realistic 1.2 LUT because nothing is prescribed. Okay, so elevated roads at the moment, and that's not a huge problem because we are coming across hills, and there are places where you would say, yep, actually they would be elevated across here. It does come back down to land just for a few moments here before going elevated again. I don't think it's the worst bit of hill road laying that I've ever seen. It might not be the most inspiring, but there's nothing bad with it, nothing wrong with it, and definitely acceptably happy. And the bridges, like here, I'm very pleased with that. Very happy with that. Very good work, all told. So anyway, this is one of a few highways that runs across the map, and our first proper intersection down here, which gives us a possible start location down by the sea, by the harbour, where we'll be having a harbour. We've got to have a harbour, surely got to have a harbour. Down here we've got a little roundabout with no pillars in it. That is good. What we do have though is a slightly too low road bridge here, which means that if there is a street lamp, and there is, it'll be clipping through quite badly. Okay, minus half a something. Was we half a something today? Minus half a light bulb. There we go. Okay, and onwards now. Next intersection I think we'll carry straight on here. Yeah, this will branch off to the left and head off to the left. I want to explore the left-hand side of the map, so we'll take the next left after the start square intersection. But like I say, we have here a perfectly lovely intersection. Yeah, we want to head down that way, but not right now. Not right now. Slip roads. What do I think of the slip roads? Now, 5 lanes into 3 isn't the worst. Comes in at a bit of an angle though, so let's open up, move it, just to explore what could be done for those of you that have never seen this show before. Move it and grab that node. We're going to pull 1 node in. Yes, I'm making jinky jankies and stuff, but I just want to see what we can do with the angle of the road. That's a bit better. And if we could then increase the lanes to maybe 4 lanes where the merging is coming in, I think that would look a lot smarter as well. All told, it's not bad anyway. It wasn't a bad intersection. It just could be slightly slicker. Now we've got a plopped intersection here. I do love this one. This is a lovely intersection. Only problem with this one is some of the heights are a little bit low and you have to do a little bit of tweaking. Otherwise you end up with street lamp clipping. Where are we? Here we go. There's a couple here. 1 right there. Admittedly, it's not actually in the highway, so cars don't have to avoid it. Not that they would anyway. And over this side we've got... are they in the highway? Yeah, that one's in the highway. Yeah. So it depends on how pretentious you are. I'm very pretentious. Down here it's the start square intersection. We could take a little right hand turning off here and get down into build location, which is okay. I do want to point out though, if we're coming from the opposite direction, we can't access the start square. So we'd have to loop around via a different highway, but more about that later, because we have an asset review to do and I get to play with some terrain work today. Because we have got the under highway tunnel pack. Now the asset here is the bit of concrete underneath the highway, underneath the road there. It's a tunnel and it's very slick. As the pack, it comes in 3 different sizes so that you can find one to fit the road that you want to cross. And then you just have to do some detailing and stuff. And I've done all of the detailing because I'm clever. Am I heck? I do have a book though, and the book has factoids in it. Factoids because factoids. When King Farouk of Egypt abdicated, he went to stay with Gracie Fields in Capri. How the ever half live, eh? Anyways, I think that's a really... I didn't even realise we needed these under highway tunnel packs. And, well, MEDURO, thank you very much. You have filled very much a niche. Right, what we'll do now is just going to delete all of that, re-level out everything, and we can go back to our map review. What do you think? And it should be flattened out about now. Lovely, 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 lovely. Flatten it. Flatten it. Okay. Right, back. Leave it as you find it, BonBonB. I might have adjusted the riverbank slightly, but we won't mark anybody down for riverbanks today. Not there anyway. Maybe somewhere else. Okay, highway carries on. Now, I want to go off to the left. I did say I wanted to head left, didn't I? So next intersection, we will take a left and just have a little nosy down on that side of the map, because that side of the map's the more realistic side of the map, which, like I said, we will cover after the intermission. Rail over road looks very slickly done. Quite happy with that from down here. And slip road, excellent. So we'll take the right to get onto the highway and then head off to the left. Yeah. Oh, the bridge looks a bit low, doesn't it? We'll have a look at that in a moment. So you're down here. How are we going to turn left? We can't turn left. Dagnabbit. Dagnabbit, Angel. Anyway, let's have a little look at this bridge. Is it too low? Oh, that is squeaky low, that is. Definitely donut proof, definitely not street lamp proof. That's very much sticking through there. I guess we're going to have to go the long way. Much as the traffic was going to have to go the long way to get to the start square, for us to exit the map, we're going to have to take a right here. Gives us a chance to have a look more of the surroundings and taking the periphery views, you know, what's going on around. And that's why I like these little highway jaunts. It's not so much trying to find jinky jankies and errors and glitches and all that sort of stuff, but it kind of shows you the rest of the map as we're going around. You can just take in everything, and then the second half of the show you can just I can pick out the areas of interest as well. Yeah, we were there. We don't want to take a right because that takes us back where we want to do that again now, do we? We want to go down here to this intersection, and now we're on the opposite side of the map. And it's lots of build locations down here. Liking all of this. This intersection takes us across to where we couldn't get earlier. And yeah, so we have a look at the rail. We have rail. Now it's kind of a realistic map, this one, on this side of the map. So what we will have a little look at the gradients on the rail, just as a little one for those of you that like to have things perfect. The true realists. A little bit too steep going up here in terms of realism. In terms of this particular map, I have no problems. Yeah, I know people are thinking I have problems with it. Sometimes, yes, I do, if it's like a roller coaster. Something like this in terms of gameplay, I have no problem with it. But I do know from the comments that some of you do like with the old transport fever, they like it, all the gradients to be right and to look and feel good and perfect. And again, it's a little bit too steep here. It's not too bad. I mean, it is stretched out over some time. They could have stayed elevated all the way with some kind of embankments, like we've got embankments here, an embankment there, and an embankment coming up along here as well. They may probably thought that it was too long a stretch to have embankments all the way, and maybe they're right. Probably they're right. But anyway, all those slopes are a little bit too steep, but not too bad. But we are going to come across one in a minute, which is, I'm sorry, just too much. Just, even for my little head, it's just too much. and that is dropping off here down to the harbour. Look at the terrain lines here. They literally are one right on top of the other. If we drop down to, there we go, that's what the train would be looking at if it was going up here, and without any extra grip or specialities, just a regular train could not manage that. So that's a little bit beyond it for me. Anyway, now harbour, down by the harbour. No, a destination. Terminus even, down by the harbour. Heck.
Do you have trouble building on steep hills? Do your buildings continually glitch into or out of the ground? Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Building on Steep Hills by BonBonB. Click the information button now.
Right, let's have a look at some shipping routes, shall we? At Morbridge by Angel2208. And we have one that runs along the fog, like this, and it links up very nicely there. And this comes down to where our docks and harbour would be, basically the best location right there. Very happy. We've also got an air route that does a full cycle of the entire map, which is perfectly workable. I have no problems with that. I don't suppose any of you would either, really. Okay, a water flow. We have a big reservoir at the top of the map. This is the opposite side of the map from where I was saying was a realistic side. This is the slightly less. But we will cover this in a bit more detail. Not saying it's bad. Not saying it's bad at all. And a good water flow coming down through here and into the river system. And that flows and floods. Right, well, it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't flood, actually. It flows and flows and flows down into the sea all the way down there. I quite like it aesthetically. Very, very good. And overall, I think it's a very aesthetic piece of work. This is the realistic side of the map. I look at that and I believe that. I totally believe that. The other side is more, I would say fantasy, more experimental. They tried something. And we will have a little look at that after we've had a little skimp round. We'll save that to the end. So the hills on this side of the map, a little bit for foreboding. You won't be doing too much building in them, but they do feel real and natural. And that, for me, is a big plus point. We've got the Essential Lighthouse in blue. Not orange today. And it looks, that was a pretty solid location for it. I mean, it's the best location I've ever seen for a lighthouse, but it's certainly solid. No problems. And we've got lots going on here. We've got some loads of really nice sweeping interchanges throughout the map, enabling traffic mostly to go where it needs to. If you can't get there, it can take another route. So there is always that, but there are one or two broken interchanges with missing connections, of course. Now, detailing, we have a castle down here that I don't buy into. Location I don't buy. I'm okay with it being flooded. Nothing wrong with that. But the amount of flooding, if we have a little look, so we might have to go underwater here. So we go underwater to show you there, and you go, look, no, just not really getting into that. Look at the shape of the flooding as well, as really square as well. And the whole thing just doesn't feel natural, normal. I just don't buy it. Okay. If that weren't there, I'd be happy. I like this though. This little Flint Island, I think we'll call this. A little bit of a carved out by the water over the millennia. Now up here we've got that reservoir, and now it's completely devoid of trees for a reason. Because if we were to connect up a dam across from these two trenches, then the whole area will flood in theory. And where there are no trees, well, they won't get drowned trees, will we? Only problem that I'm finding is I can't see. It's too high, height too high. So connecting up those 2 points, let's come a little bit lower, slope too steep. Basically, I can't see, without doing any terrain work on this particular area, any way of making a hydro dam work at this location. It's too high or too steep. Now down there, too steep. Yeah, slope too steep. So for me, maybe there's a midpoint. Maybe there's a point in there that it will actually work. But for me, it won't. But if you do get it to work, that entire area that's devoid of trees, well, that will flood. And you won't have any drowned trees, and you'll have all of this. Not loads and loads, it would be just loads of water. In fact, 3/4 of the map would be water, won't it? Excellent. Right, what more can I show you? There is more to show you. I'll show you this little inland lake on the left there. But before we do that, over here, we've got a couple of trenches over here as well. And if indications anything to go by, here is somewhere that maybe you could have a dam. Only thing is, I don't think I trust this area. I think we'd be looking at some serious flooding going on if we do have a dam from there to there. It will let us put a dam. Mind you, it's not really sticking its head out of the water very much. I would say that's pretty much pointless. Pretty much. Yeah. Okay. Finally, we do have an inland lake. Let me show you what's happening with the water. So the water comes down here from the reservoir. And then we've got a divergence. And okay, we'll let that go. We'll let that go. Because it's kind of fantasy map. Down here, we've got another one down here. It goes into a little lake over there. And I can kind of like deal with that as well. Yeah, let it go. It's fine. Turn that back off. Back to the camera. Back to the camera. Now this river here that goes down to the inland lake. Reasonable water flow down here as well, under the tunnel. And this lake down here. Now something about this lake. First of all, I like it. It's very pretty. Okay. I think it's very pretty. We come down here and switch the terrain lines on in a second. And have a look at the water level. You can see that bold white line there. That second one up. That is the sea level line. We come across to the sea and we'll see the sea level is just maybe a meter below that one. So yeah, it's just under sea level. A bit like the Dead Sea really, isn't it? Oh, that's a bit more than a little bit. Now we've been fed by water from that one river, but we do have, maintaining the level, we do have that water spawn point right there. Wonder what would happen if we deleted that and then put it on time lapse while I do the final ratings. Shall we do that just for a bit of a laugh? Anyway, what do you think of this map? What do you think? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the viewer's choice. Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Right, I'm going to rate this thing up and we'll leave that on time lapse on the left hand side there so you can see the water dropping, hopefully. So anyway, aesthetically I think it's okay. I think it looks all right. There's a few interesting design features in here as well, and I think it deserves a 4th star. So 4 star it gets. 4 stars it gets even. Detailing it on the whole is pretty good. It's way above 2 stars. Could it get a 4th star? I think with the missing bits and the fact that we've got that entire a third of the map missing trees so that we can have a dam and the dam won't work. I'm going to give it 3. A solid 3 stars. Gameplay potential, definitely playable. We do have a couple of missing road connections that will cause a little bit of traffic chaos. And of course, there are a few aspects that would take it up to 4 stars if they worked, such as the dam. So I'm going to go a very good 3 stars. Definitely playable, but not playable to its fullest, this particular map. Morbridge by Angel2208. And there you go, that's your lake. Several hours of time lapse to get that lake like that. Several hours. Don't say I don't go the extra mile for you guys. Don't say it. Go on, say it in the comments. Go on, say it in the comments. Tell me I don't go the extra mile. I don't care. I'll take it on the chin. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. Definitely a special on the screen now to go and have a little look at that one. Do go and have a look at that one. And of course, an old map to go and vote on too. And tomorrow, it'll be the Steam Weekly Chart Show. I'll see you then too. Thanks for watching.